What's going on? What's going on? This is the HFT 2 podcast, Healing from Trauma 2, and I am your host, Drea Boo. Yeah. Hey. How are you guys? I'm back. All right. So first and foremost, we want to thank God around these parts because He is the ruler of all things. He is the Alpha and Omega. He is everything that I can't even name all of the things, but He is those things. So first I want to point out the hiatus. I was going through a lot. I can't even remember. I think the last episode I did was back in January. So we're officially in April. And second and foremost, because God was first. Second, I want to shout out my 14-year-old. Her birthday was February motherfucking 10th. I will never forget. I've never forgotten. And fuck your daddy. All right. My son, his birthday is in about 10 more days. So, if I should have another episode out before then. So I'm going to give him his shout out. But, as we all know, healing from drama around here, our mantra is we're learning to heal instead of just deal. One more time. We are learning to heal instead of just deal. Now, what do you mean by that, Drea? Well, I mean, a lot of times life gives us these bogus ass hands, like in spades when you only got one spade and it's not even a high spade. It be like that sometimes. Life be lifing. So, personally, I'm going to speak from a personal experience. Growing up, I just dealt with everything. I dealt with abuse. I dealt with being violated. I dealt with this. I dealt with that. But I've never thought about the healing process that is definitely needed, right? So I don't want to bore y'all or nothing like that, but I want to just give y'all like a real quick update about what's been going on with me because, again, this is the Healing from Trauma podcast. And that's pretty much what we do around here. We talk about it. First, I want to say, moving on. The devil, I don't know if it's him, his cousin, I don't know who the fuck is just interrupting, just causing distractions. I just want to say, if you are listening to this podcast and you can relate, I just want you to know it's going to be okay. What do you mean by relate? I mean, if you feel like everything in your life has taken a turn for not necessarily always the worst, but maybe uncomfortability. Like for instance, I was comfortable at my job at the Hilton. I allowed someone, first of all, let's say this. I went against my better judgment. I already knew something didn't seem right. I already felt it. And then when I seen it, I didn't stop it and I kept it going. So, God had to I want to say just, I won't even say God. I'm going to say life's consequences was consequent. So pretty much I was working at the Hilton. I used my employee discount, which is automatically a no-no, for a said friend. And this said friend had another so-called friend of hers pay for the room, and to my understanding, because they were trying to help her out, she had kids, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I think I told you this already. It was 8 funky ass people. Okay, minus the babies, because they ain't got nothing to do with this. So 3 funky ass adults, okay, and 5 wonderful, precious babies, okay, between the ages of about 6 months and I think the oldest was about 10, I can't remember. But either way, capacity is 4 people to a 2-bedroom room. So that was a problem. Then niggas had noise complaints. Niggas had the cops come up there because the couple that was in the room, unbeknownst to me, that they were going to be there. First, let me just tell you how this whole thing was fucked up from beginning to end. First of all, not only did I give the girl the discount and she could have used her own friendship discount, you fucked up my name and then had the audacity to be like, well, I didn't know. But why would you allow 8 fucking bodies in one room like it's an Airbnb? And then it was like, well, I'm sorry, but not really, but kind of fuck what happened, but it happened. So I just learned the lesson. you got to go with your gut. If your gut is telling you no, or you seem, and it's very, you find yourself really indecisive about something, it's usually God's discernment trying to give you that chance of fleeing that temptation or that not opportunity, because it's not an opportunity. I mean, it's an opportunity to fuck yourself over, but it ain't an opportunity, so I didn't want to call it that. But it's like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I know what I felt, and I know how God works, and I was disobedient to what he was giving to me, and I fucked myself over. So fast forward, where they done got noise complaints. They said it smelled like smoke in the room. It was overcapacitated. I basically got penalized. So I quit that job. And when I quit that job, I had another job, which I was doing home health care. So home health care played in my face because I was only making $15, which anybody out there listening, $15 is not enough to take care of someone's elderly grandparent or parent and having to assist with their daily living activities, meaning wiping their ass, hygiene stuff, helping them with mobility and transferring them from one place to another. I'm 110 fucking pounds, okay? All my clients were way more than me. And you telling me you'll give me $15? I was very humble with that. And then turned around, these people had me watch two clients at a time. One time, okay, for 12 hours. Instead of paying me a solid $30, $20 an hour, they paid me $17 an hour. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm already getting $15 for one person, why the hell would you think it makes any kind of fucking sense to give me $17 for two people for 12 hours? Cheap as fuck, ignorant as fuck, lining the pockets of not the hard workers, but the motherfuckers that sit in the office and tell you where to go, how to go, and give you more caseloads. Now, if you ask me, I know not just the CNAs, but the home health aides should get a raise, and they should be making more than the motherfucking funky ass recruiters, because all you doing is sitting your ass down. You're not fucking lifting people up. You're not wiping asses, washing balls, and all of that other stuff. And then to make matters worse, I feel they hire any fucking body. I was dealing with, like, in passing, of course, I was dealing with some people that I wouldn't want watching my grandma or my granddad, because God rest their souls, because honey, temperament and commentary, all of that goes in, and people just don't have compassion. People just aren't passionate about being compassionate or empathizing with people, etc., etc. Because let me tell you, I'm not even going to go into stories. Just know that there's people out there that should not be in home health or any type of medical. And at this point, it may just be a trend. Females just want the scrubs. I don't freaking know. But y'all need to do better, tighten up, and do a little more research, okay? Anyway, I quit that job also because they was playing in my face. They was playing in my face because I've told you what they did. Not only did they play with me as my time, so you can get incentives, right? And they had like an app where they do blasts and they tell you like, hey, we need someone stat to come over here and go to Mr. Johnson's house or Miss Corrine's house or whatever. And so, me being myself, I was always like, yeah, I'll take it. Mind you, in the app, they give you like a $2, $3, sometimes a $4 incentive because they really need people, because they have so many irresponsible people. So, longer story short, they went from blasting and sending out cases where you get incentives to the point where, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm sitting in the car. Again, I'm on my break. They incentives to just call me directly and fucking this incentives to the point where they might have gave me $1, they might not. I can't keep up. All I know is they didn't offer it to me directly, which on the app or the blast, that's what they did. And again, I just want to say, fuck the devil and his imps and his brothers and whoever is riding with him, because let me tell you, first of all, I've been trying to give y'all this episode for like the last 3 days, and then I just got distracted and just was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit him when I hit him. But being that I pay for the platform that I use, and being that I pay for the graphic software that I use, I done did that a couple times, paid for the stuff to do episodes, and then a whole month go by, now I gotta pay again, but I didn't produce anything. That's because my head was cluttered. But anywho, back to fuck Brightstar. That's what they're called. Brightstar and Novi. I don't know if all the other Brightstars like that, but if you're only making $15 and you're wiping ass, fuck the man, okay? You need to go and apply yourself somewhere else, or to a company that actually give a damn about their employers and their clients more so. But anyway, because I could go on and on about how the communication log was trashed. They just, like I said, hire anybody. It seems like, I mean, females with attitudes stink. Like, bitch, you should not have an attitude leaving Miss Crystal's house talking about you tired of the bitch with dementia. Like, bitch, what if that was your mama or your grandma? Like, people, have compassion. People, emphasize with people. You get what I'm trying to say. Sympathize with people as well. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people have or are dealing with. So what is it going to kill you to be kind? I've met so many bitches out here in Detroit, Michigan. Not even met, just looking at them and having attitude exchange in passing. My last job, we'll talk about that too. Them hoes was mean. But anyway, you don't have to be mean. And if you want to be around somebody, grandmama, be a better bitch. Don't be, what is the point? What you going to wipe ass with aggression or barely wipe it? Anyway, moving on. Back to bitter bitches of where I'm at. So I left that job. I got another job, which was more comfortable for me mentally, because I was sick of the company. I felt I was getting screwed. They took like 6-7 hours off out of my check. They never gave it to me. How about that? So anyway, I go into this plant. The plant is cool. Making military parts or manufacturing military parts. So I was in production. Not bad. However, customer service when it comes to working in plants or people skills. Terrible. Wait, back to fuck the devil and his imps and his cousins and his baby mom, whoever he got fucking with him. Not only was I trying to give y'all this podcast, it was just a lot of bullshit. Like, I started an episode, I got about 30 something minutes in, and when you know it, a fucking phone call made it through past the do not disturb setting. Not only did it make it the fuck through, the motherfucker didn't want shit. They called, I answered, because at this point I didn't have no choice, because it came through. I think if I would have hung up fast, like, I would have been able to hop back, it would have been paused, but yeah, no, not so. And I wasn't able to use that clip because I had more to say or whatever. I wasn't done. And so that's what happened with that. But anyway, back to this motherfucking plant. So the hiring process was cool. The hiring manager was cool. Shout out, I don't even want to say his name, but Apex Staffing, they were cool. The pay was only $16.50, which, I mean, if we're doing military military weapons or guns or whatever, nigga, y'all definitely can afford to pay us more than $16.50. But anyway, I was happy because it was only 5 minutes from my crib. Everything seemed like it was going to work out fine because, again, 5 minutes from the crib. It wasn't nothing too strenuous to do. However, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm only going to say this because, I don't know, my boo may or may not hear this, but I told him I got fired because my production was low. But what had happened was I was really tired because I just got another job. So I worked 16 hours straight. So when I went back to work that night, I went, on my 30-minute break, I went up the street. I tried to go to my boo house because I know he probably not would overslept, but would have helped me get up. So I went back to my crib, bro. When I say my break was from 5 to 5:30, I woke up at 6:12 a.m. I got off at 7:30. Now, I could have went back to work and said some shit happened. I had to run and extend my break or whatever. Or I could have went in and clocked out and left or whatever, but I didn't. You know what my black ass did? I just went to my front door. Matter of fact, I went to the apartment door and I went, like I was about to leave. I turned right back around, went back in my apartment, got back in my bed and said, fuck it. I got another job. And on top of that, I was just over it. I was so fucking tired. Now, was that the right thing to do? Fuck no. Did I leave Miss Kathy hanging? I do apologize, Miss Kathy. But I was a little... first of all, there is a female in there, and she is like a team lead, supervisor, whatever. Like, when you first come in, you're supposed to check in with this heifer, right? So, at first, like the first week, she was like, whatever. I just get hood booger vibes from bitches out here. I'm not saying all bitches from Detroit is just hood boogers. I'm saying the attitude, the mindset, like chip on the shoulder ass bitches. And I don't know exactly why. Maybe I'm too fucking chipper. Maybe I'm too jolly for these hoes. I don't know. But I'm talking to first, all right, before we get to the supervisor, because I got to wrap this up because I only got about 18 more minutes. So I basically First of all, let's just get to the chase. The bitch kept fucking cutting her eyes at me. I'm like, did I fuck her nigga? Do I owe her money? I don't know what the fuck her beef was, but she just kept like, and you supposed to be like, I don't understand, if you're going to be over people and you have to deal with people constantly, change your fucking attitude. How are you going to be unbearable or fucking just irritating to work with if people have to come to you? That don't make no sense. That's like, bitches, get out of the medical field if you don't like people. Get out of the medical field if you're racist. Get out of the medical field if you're lazy. Just don't do it. So when it comes down to people being people, when you're dealing with people, be a little, approachable. Be a little personable. This bitch was just plain rude. And I'm like, damn, it was so bad. Miss Kathy looked like, why she look at you like that? I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't even say shit to the bitch. Normally I ask for some gloves or I have a conversation like, hey, can you help me do this? Or not even help me do this. What am I supposed to do next? That's usually the only things that come out my mouth to this bitch. So we don't have no prior history, okay? I was only at the job for about 2 fucking weeks and 2 days. All right? So I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck her issue was, but she just had an issue. And that's not the first time I worked in a plant where the team lead or whatever the fuck these bitches be walk around like they got a fucking 12-inch pole up their ass, because I don't fucking know. I don't know. I can't tell you, because I'm not a confrontational person. I don't come to work rowdy. I don't have to fuck. I'm not the problem. That's what we are going to say. Anyway, so not only that, they just really didn't care about their employees when it comes to, just being understanding. And I understand a lot of people like, fuck it, you're grown, I don't gotta coddle you, or blah, 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 blah. But bitch, okay, first of all, I made a work friend. Work friend go up to the white lady who walks the floor and make you feel like hurry up and buy. That's how she walks around. Her presence is very uncomfortable. Like, bitch, why are you hovering over me? Bitch, why are you I get it. Like, you're doing your job as far as in monitoring, but micromanagement, I didn't know that's what you had to do. I mean, if y'all taught people shit and train people, then you wouldn't have to fucking micromanage instead of walking around looking for the mistakes that people are going to obviously make because they didn't get no fucking proper training, which a lot of plants don't train you on shit. They just like, oh, you work in a plant? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, we might take you. No, we still might take you, but bitch, look at what we're doing and do it. That's it. So anyway, the girl work friend went up to the white lady and she say, hey, I don't know what I wasn't taught on anything, or they didn't teach us nothing, blah, 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 blah. The white lady look at her and say, okay, is that it? So then she tells her, like, my hands are hurting because we had to pinch, pull, pry, motherfucking metal prongs all motherfucking night. You either pulling them apart, put them, the machines aren't up kept or nothing. What is that shit called? They're not maintenance or nothing. So if you got a broke machine, you got a broke machine. The last plant I worked at, the machines, even if they broke went down, they always came back up, always had somebody, tinkering with the bitches or whatever, try to get the bitch back on track. Here, you're on your fucking own. If the machine don't work, use your fucking hands, bitch. That's exactly how the model felt. But anyway, so, after, long story short, so yeah, that's part of the reason. I took my nap, I overslept, I made an executive decision. I'm not going back. I got another job. Mind you, this job does not make as much as the other job. It has growth potential and stability. Like, I know I'm not just going to get fired as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. At the plant, and they go on strikes. I don't fucking know. I really don't give a fuck. And as my baker bae said, she said, plants basically kill you slowly. And they do. But like, bro, you're standing on your feet for 8 fucking hours, constantly doing this repetitive moving back and forth. I don't fucking stretch. Okay. I was having back problems. I'm only 34, about to be 35. Wooty, wooty, woo. But yeah, y'all stay tuned, because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do for my birthday, because I ain't going to hold you. I thought I was going to hold down these jobs for at least a month to 3 months, maybe even 6. And why y'all say a month, y'all like a month. Okay, maybe not a month. But in my head, I said I'm going to work 2 jobs for 3 to 6 months. That shit didn't go down like that simply because of what I just did. I was being irresponsible. I just didn't give a fuck. And I know I fucked up. But this job does not pay as much, but I get to work from home. So, woody whoop, shout out to that. Now, why am I in my car if I get paid from home? Well, I'm still in training. So, once training is over, I got 2 more weeks. Once training is over, I get to do work from home. All right, so we about to close this up. I just wanted to give you an update that 1, I moved into my own apartment. 2, I got a vehicle. 3, I'm still employed and I'm going to remain employed. And 4, I'm slowly cutting people off that don't serve no purpose in my life, because okay? One, they drain you. They distract you. They drain you because their problems seem like they become your problems. And when they have a lot of problems, that shit becomes a problem. Like, I was just around somebody that it just felt like everything was just going bad for this person. Like, this person had been I can't say it's their fault, but I'm a very logical person, okay? First of all, you don't play with people's feelings. If you're going to leave somebody on for survival purposes, just be prepared for what may come after that shit, okay? So what had happened was the person was being all nice to this person, which they wasn't supposed to, because this person already violated them and treated them like crap. Like, I moved down here, I found out that he was a child abuser, all types of shit. So this person figured, I need food, I need whatever, I'm gonna just fuck with the person again because it is my children's father, blah, blah, blah. This nigga gets in his feelings because now he feel like there's a bond that, is able to be replaced. And so now this motherfucking monkey decides to climb through the girl's window, beat her ass, go back outside and come back and whoop her ass again. Then it made matters worse. My brother was babysitting one night and the nigga popped up again, drunk again, but this time climbed up to the 3rd floor window. Now, I am not victim shaming. I feel bad that it happened to her. However, I feel that if she would have isolated that fake ass friendly cordialness, then maybe this person wouldn't have took the emotional state that they did, which was attacking her. Okay? Not to mention, that was just drama for no reason. And my brother could have been implemented in some bullshit, all because he was trying to help. This goes back to, sometimes you just gotta cut people the fuck off. Period, point blank. And no, it's hard. Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes it feels like, damn, you're the bad guy. Because a lot of times, people will make you fucking feel like you're the bad guy. Even when you're not the bad guy. I mean, like, literally, like, I'm not fucking, like, when I was mad about my fucking, my Hilton rewards, it was kind of like received as, well, I said I was sorry. Okay, but bitch, that doesn't help me. That doesn't give me my shit back. These white people don't give a fuck about none of that. But I'm supposed to accept that from you, because people a lot of times want you to accept mediocrity, behaviors, and responses, and then turn around and give you their ass a kiss, or I don't know how to explain it. All right, another person, real quick. I had to cut them off because, yes, you was there for me when I got out of jail. Yes, you gave me a couple dollars. But recently, you just been full of shit. You could talk to me about your dick. You could talk to me about what you want to do with your dick to me. But then when I asked this nigga for less than $20 fucking. Now, I can't be mad because he didn't have it. I'm mad if I know he got it and didn't give it to me. Not simply because he didn't give it to me. It's because it's the person per se. Now, if I was in that person's face, or if I could give that person some coochie, that person would have gave it to me. And I know this for a fact because this is a person who spends money frivolously on bullshit and coochie. You get what I'm saying? And instead of saying I don't have it and I believed him and I knew he didn't have it, because I know y'all might be like, that sounded a little crazy, bro. You just said you got mad because you asked somebody for a couple dollars and no, fuck that. It's the principle. It's the principle. I needed it. And it was for a good cause. It wasn't for no weed. It was for nothing. It actually was involving my podcast. So it just made me realize, like, and this is the same person who turned around and be like, oh, or used to be like, oh, because I blocked them. I don't got it to do. I'm not about to sit up here and act like I want these friendships that I really don't want, because if it was the other way around and that person reached out to me, I would have definitely gave it to him or found out a way to give it to him, especially if it was for the reason that I asked. And y'all like, well, what the hell did you need? Mind your business. It was about the podcast. That's all y'all need to know. I had some of it and I needed the rest of it. Period, point blank. Not to mention, I told the nigga I would pay him back in less than 3 days because that's when I get paid. This nigga just still, but you could sit there and drink tequila and smoke weed, but you could also tell me how you sat up here and spent this amount of money on a hooker. Oh yeah, that's the principle for me. That's the principle for me. Like, I'm just tired of being a person who's willing to give and put out and listen and then it just bites me in the ass. Like, okay, now would I have been so mad if I didn't know this person was buying liquor and weed every other day, and that I know this person has the amount of money I was asking for, regardless if, like, there's nothing you could tell me that I know that I know? Long story short, people really could be shit. And this is the part that made me mad about this person. Not so much that they didn't give me the money, but you can literally call me out of the blue and tell me your problems. You can call me out of the blue, talk about your penis and blood. Oh man, I wish I could do this, and I want to do this to you, and I just want to do this. who the fuck do you think you are? You're not my boyfriend. You're not no one supporting my lifestyle or helping me or supporting my podcast. Nigga, you don't support. And that's another motherfucking thing. Let me get out of here because I'm about to have to go back to work. Y'all motherfuckers are really crazy when it comes to these trick ass niggas and these weirdos. They will sit up there when I was selling cakes, and y'all know what I mean by cakes. When I was selling cakes, oh my God, I had dudes, here you go. You need a couple dollars? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Soon as I'm like, okay, I got a job, I got a car, I got an apartment, I got an LLC. Like I'm trying, baby. Niggas act real strange and weird. And it's like, what the fuck? So y'all would rather support me when I'm doing the least with my life, when I am not my best self. But when I'm actually elevating and changing the course of my lifestyle and what I want for myself, niggas is nowhere to be found. Tell me that ain't fucking crazy. And a kick in the ass, because it's just like, damn, B, I would want to support and positivity rather than negativity. So this is what I'm going to say before I leave. You got people in your life, I don't care if it's family, significant other, or fucking regular friendships, platonic friendships. If you notice that you are pouring more into them than they are pouring into you, get rid of them. If you notice that you are drained physically or mentally by being around this person, get away from them. If the person my sign is when I get anxiety. If I get anxiety from you, I don't want to be around you. If you're too high strung, now you could be high strung and positive, I could fuck with you. But if you high strung and you just high strung and you don't know like for what or why or what's the purpose of your high strungness, like I could be high strung, but it's always in a more rational reason than not. Like I'm not high strung like let's go do drugs or let's do this. I'm not. No. Anyway, I got like 5 more minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to share, update, and, relate what's been going on with me, what's been going on, the hiatus, job changes, and all that stuff. So what I will say, though, is now I get off at 5 o'clock every day. So I have an executive decision to make, either do AM podcasting or evening podcasting. So if you were to tune in, how would you rather tune in at night or in the daytime, or when do you find yourself listening to this podcast? Let me know. Hit up the social media links. Look for HFT podcast or HFT2 or HFT2 podcast or Healing from Trauma 2 podcast. I have to go. I hope everyone have a fantastic hump day. And furthermore, I hope everyone has a prosperous week. I hope you guys love yourselves. And then love other people, because you got to love yourself first before you even know how to love other people. And you got to love yourself to know how other people should love you. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to expect somebody else to love you? Or why should they love you? Or, and if you're out there and you don't have nobody, just know you got to play cousin in me. Because, baby, I got more associates and friends than I have family members. And that's not physically true, but it is mentally true, if that makes sense. Like, I claim more of my friends than my family, and I don't even got a lot of friends, so that should tell you something. But anyway, this has been another episode of Healing from Trauma podcast. I'm your host, Drea Boo, and thank you so much for listening. I will have another episode out this Friday, okay? This freaking Friday. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it on Saturday. So I think my podcast days are gonna be Wednesday and Saturday. So I'll give you the middle of the week, insightful thoughts, or talk about, what's been endured in between time and meantime. But, yeah, I think that's it. Listen, the first episode I had for y'all was more motivational. It had very, very solid points. However, again, the devil and his girlfriend and his bitches was busy. So I want you to know I love y'all. And, yeah, just be good to yourself, be good to others, and don't allow nobody to play in your face.